All right, what's going on? So I'm gonna show you the exact system we're using right now to sign about 5 to 6 clients a month using automated WhatsApp outreach. So if you're an agency owner, coach, consultant, stick around. This is gonna be very, very valuable because with this system we've been seeing anywhere from 10 to 20% positive reply rate. It's literally insane, right? Now, if you don't know me yet, my name is Ani. I run an outbound agency. I work with agencies, consultants, coaches, generally people in the high ticket B2B space who are selling a high ticket B2B offer. That's who I work with, right? So let's get into the video. Let's get into the value. So most agencies, they're stuck at the same revenue month after month. They have unpredictable revenue flow, and the number one growth killer I see is they don't have any consistent outbound system, right? So they have literally nothing. The other thing is they're relying only on referrals and warm leads. Maybe they're running ads, but they're having like, there's good seasons and bad seasons, and it's not like predictable. And they don't have a scalable cold outreach process, right? This is super, super bad. Now, anybody can run this. This is actually super, super simple. It doesn't require any mass infrastructure backend, just like you would with cold email or cold LinkedIn. It's more complicated, but this is actually very, very straightforward. So the infrastructure looks like this. You're going to buy aged WhatsApp accounts on z2u.com. Then you're going to set up the proxies using hide my account or GoAds Power, anything. Just don't use a VPN, use actually a proxy. Once you set this up, you're going to have one browser dedicated to one phone number, which is essentially one account. And then you're going to assign the accounts to the proxies plus verify the phone numbers, right? Now it's super simple. You're going to be able to get a vendor on Z2U and you're just going to get them to help you set up the account using that browser. The account literally costs like $5 on this website, and you typically want to get like a UK number, US number, anything that in the first world, right? Because ideally you're going to be reaching out to like UK, US, European market, right? And you want to have a similar number to the person that you're reaching out to because you're going to look more like them and people trust what they know, right? It's the familiarity that builds trust. So never share one IP across multiple accounts. That's an instant ban risk. I've had just yesterday 3 accounts restricted just because we made this mistake. So make sure that you don't repeat our mistakes and actually learn from this when you're running this, right? So you want to have a nice infrastructure. Let me actually show you how this is going to look like. So you have one phone number that you buy for about $5, right? You have a phone number right here. And then you have this proxy, right? And this is all in one, right? One phone number in this one proxy. This is going to cost you around $5, $6, something like that. And then what you're also going to have is you're going to have another one, just like this, then another one, just like this. And they're all going to be separated, right? Just like on Titanic. I think that was one of the stories, right? Like the reason the ship sunk, and don't quote me on this, I'm not sure if I know this like on top of my head, but the principle still applies. It's like they didn't have these chambers, like they didn't seal them on the right time, and then the water just flew and they got all the accounts banned, right? And this is what happens if we have all WhatsApp accounts on the same IP. It's like if one gets restricted because you didn't follow the limits, or it gets detected as spam, all of them are going to sink, right? Just like the ship, just like Titanic. So you want to be very careful with this, and you can literally run this unlimited of these accounts. And then we have the warm up, right? So after you have your number set it up, after you have everything ready, you need to warm up before you start to do the outreach. So from day one to two, this is if you want to, you can take it more slowly. This is like very explosive, right? This is super fast. Warm up, you can take it like to an extreme and do it like for 1 month, and it's gonna work really, really well, and you're not gonna get restricted in any way. But for the first day, using this explosive warm-up method, you're gonna send 2 warm-up messages between the accounts, right? Then you're gonna send the day two warm-up messages between the accounts. So this is just like, establishing the account. And then right here, you're gonna start doing some cold outreach. So you're gonna send 2 cold outreach messages, 4 cold outreach messages, and then you're gonna go with 10, 15, and then 20 is gonna be the max. That's the full speed, okay? Very important that you know this, because if you're doing more than this, it can like shit can happen, right? So this is how I would do it. You can even send more warm-up messages like this. It's like if you have 20 accounts and if you're sending 20 warm-up messages and you're sending 20 cold outreach messages, that's gonna be very, very good. I can say that. So you're gonna ramp it up gradually because trust score builds consistency, right? Like it builds consistency with the platform. And then we have the 4 touch sequence, right? So first of all, you're going to send them the message number one, right? You're just gonna send this to them. Hey, first name, it's your name. I know this is random, haha. I also run an agency in Europe, open to taking on more clients for company name. Very straightforward. This is what we're using right now. Getting about a 15% positive reply rate on this. And then 5 minutes later, you would send them something like this. If they don't respond, so you would say something, I could help you send over some good prospects in the next weeks. Let me know. Something super simple. Now, if you help, let's say you help SaaS companies like with ads, right? So you run advertising agencies to help SaaS companies. I would say, hey, first name, it's Ani. I'm also in this tech, online, whatever space. I know this is random, but yeah, I'm also in this space. I run a company in Europe. I just wanted to see if you're open to taking on more users or if you're still launching. Just something like that. And then 5 minutes later, you could say, I could help you integrate an acquisition system that's getting you 30 demos every single day. And then can I give you a 5-minute call later today? And then 2 days later, you would follow up on them with something like this, right? Like a follow up with a case study. And then we have the triage call. So if they give you the permission to call them, you want to use the script like this. So first of all, you have the opener, just confirm the context. And then you have the surface gap, right? So if the problem you're solving for them is, let's say, client acquisition, you're just gonna say, yeah, so we talked about helping get more clients and fixing this acquisition part of the side of the business, right? And they're gonna say yes, because that's why they're on the call. Because of course we need to do the quality fit. Like this is it. This is like one part of the script. And then you're going to ask them the permission to ask them more questions, right? So you're going to ask them, okay, John, so would you be okay if I ask you 5 to 10 questions right now, just so I can properly see if we'll be able to assist you? It's going to take about 3 minutes. And if I think we're a good fit, we can potentially jump on a 40-minute Zoom meeting. Okay, whatever. And then you're going to ask them 5 questions that are important for your service to see if they're qualified. You're going to present them the offer afterwards. Just we typically do an AI outreach ecosystem. There's no ads, no warm leads, no deal, no pay, right? We just give them this sauce, and then they can decide if they want to book a 30-minute walkthrough meeting with me. And we typically just propose a time, right? So we can just pick a random time on that call. Just say Thursday at 5 p.m. Does that work for you? And if they say yeah, just schedule them in manually, ask them your qualification questions. If they say no, propose another time, or just send them your Calendly or cal.com link. The goal here is not to sell them the service. The goal is to get them to book a 30-minute meeting. This is literally it. This is the whole thing. And then we have the sending rules, right? So you can literally send throughout the whole week. I would just recommend sending throughout the weekdays, but you can always like leverage Saturday and Sunday. It's just like the response rates are a little bit down on Saturday and Sunday. And you're going to send between 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. In prospect's location, right? So in prospect's local time. So if you're sending to Florida, you're going to send in Eastern Standard Time from 11 to 6 p.m. Max messages, you can do only 20 messages a day. If you do more than that, you're probably going to get restricted. I mean, you can run it with like 100 messages a day and you're probably going to be good for like a couple of days, maybe even a week, but then you're going to get restricted, right? I mean, you just need to determine if that's worth it. Respect local time zones, right? So, all differ. Make sure you're actually reaching out to the prospect location. Like what I would do is I would just get like a couple of lead lists, European prospects, US prospects. I wouldn't mix them up for 2 reasons, because the first reason is, of course, like, we want to make sure that we're actually sending them in the 11 to 6 p.m. gap. And the second reason is because, you can use the phone number that they have in their location, right? So if you're sending to UK prospects, you can use an English phone number, right? A British phone number. You don't have to use a US one. But if you have mixed leads of US and UK, you're going to be using, let's say, a UK number, and some leads are going to resonate with it, some are not. So it's just going to create more mass. And then the system in action, right? To have some pretty crazy results. For example, I don't know, it's pretty crazy. If you want to, what I'm gonna do is you can go to actiescale.com. You can book a call with me. I can show you how we can implement, a similar outreach system to this one into your company, and to help you sign 5 clients a month. Like this can literally be for fucking 50K lifetime value product offer. It's super good because we only work with high ticket offers, so only working with operators who are already established for the done for you. If you wanna work with me one on one and actually build this out yourself, and just have me as a support, and I give you all of the SOPs that we use. You can also book a call with me for the done with you. That's it. And I'll see you in the next one.